500 kilometers off the west coast of Africa, in the middle of the North Atlantic, there's an island that doesn't feel like the rest of Europe. This is Madeira. Lush greenery and black sand beaches on one side, volcanic peaks and dramatic hiking trails on another. Subtropical weather all year round, and somehow still part of Portugal. They say this is the Hawaii of Europe, and I spent 5 days here finding out if that's actually true. Here's everything I did, ate, and learned in Madeira. First thing you need to know before coming to Madeira, you can't really explore the island properly without a car. Luckily, there's no shortage of rental places right outside the airport. A car for the next week! And second thing, driving in Madeira is an experience of its own. 1 minute you're in the tunnel, the next you're on a cliffside highway with the impossibly blue ocean outside your window. The scenery is beautiful enough to distract you from the fact that over the next few days, you'll basically be driving up, down, around, and through an island that clearly has no interest in being flat. Hello from Madeira. We just checked into our beautiful Airbnb in Ponta do Sol, which is like a coastal village on the southwest side of the island. And then got a bunch of essentials from the supermarket. First of all, bread, most important thing in life. Eggs, ham and cheese. This is manchego, my absolute favorite. Some butter and coffee. A toothbrush, because I forgot. This is actually for 2 to 5 year old. But my mom always say to use the tiniest toothbrush you can find so that it doesn't hurt your gum. I believe her. And then some clementine for the hikes. Mushrooms. And this bolo de mel, which is like a local sweet cake. Will be quite nice for a hiking snack. Some red and white wine. And of course, when in Portugal, super log. It's really hard to see right now because it suddenly got so cloudy and misty, but we're actually quite high up on the mountains, and right over there is the breathtaking, beautiful blue sea. Bom dia! Good eggs, good bread. The good thing about staying in a village like this is that you wake up to a beautiful view of the ocean and it's very quiet. No one's disturbing you. But the bad thing about staying in a village is that you're staying in a village and there's nothing nearby. You have to drive 10 minutes to go anywhere. And if you forgot to bring anything, or if the Airbnb host doesn't provide body wash and shampoo and conditioner, you're screwed. There's nothing else to do but be stinky for the night. But the good news was we were heading to Funchal, Madeira's capital and where all the action is. Except not even 5 minutes after hitting the road, I think we have a problem here. The front right tire was completely flat. Neither of us knew how to change it, and because it was a Sunday, no one at the car rental was picking up the phone. We got some help. I ended up walking to a cafe down the road where a group of Portuguese uncles were just sitting around chatting. After a lot of gesturing and what I can only assume was some very poorly translated Portuguese on my phone, two of them got up straight away and changed the spare tire for us in 20 minutes. Honestly, I cannot thank them enough for their pure kindness. They completely saved our day. And yes, learning how to change a tire is now officially on my to-learn list.
Sorriu, chorei, nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar, e o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou.
After a bit of wandering through the old town, we headed to the harbor for the main event of the day, whale watching. Madeira is actually one of the best places in the world to observe marine life, with dolphins, whales, turtles, and many other species seen in the crystal clear waters around the island. About half an hour out, the ocean turned this deep electric blue. Funchal started shrinking behind us, and suddenly we were surrounded by spotted dolphins. They're named after the speckle patterns on their skin, and they were putting on a proper show, even though the dolphins seemed just as excited about us as we were about them. We moved on after 15 minutes, because a responsible wildlife encounter also means respecting their space. Then it was time to look for whales. At first, all we could see were distant blows on the surface, and that's when it really hits you. You're in their territory now.
Well guys, we have at least 2 sperm whales here in this area. Another one just came up to the surface on the left side of the boat.
They're some of the ocean's strongest divers, able to hold their breath for up to 90 minutes. And then, out of nowhere, one of them completely jumped out of the water. Unfortunately, it happened so fast I didn't manage to get it on camera. Scientists still debate as to why whales breach. It could be to communicate, assert dominance, shake off parasites, or maybe just for a bit of fun. But whatever the reason, it was easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Because it was Sunday, a lot of restaurants in Funchal were closed. So we ended up walking to this fish restaurant right next to the famous market. We started with our catch of the day, pan-fried sea bream. Back in London, I'm used to buying fish as pre-packaged fillets. But eating a whole fish this fresh makes you realize how little you actually need when the ingredient is good. It was mild, sweet, and incredibly delicate. Then came these massive prawns. Sweet and chewy with that perfect snap when you bite into them. And their signature squid carbonara. Little pearls of Frigola sarda coated in a rich sauce, with pieces of squid in every bite, all washed down with a glass of Ponta, Madeira's famous cocktail made with sugarcane syrup, citrus, and honey. It tastes like strong alcoholic orange juice, so fair warning if you're driving. I'm not freaking out. I'm not freaking out. This is the solution for now. Hopefully our lizard friend can just escape from the drain. What an eventful day. Learning from yesterday's mistakes, gotta check the tire before we set off. Luckily, the spare tire was still holding strong. So, first order of business, fill up the tank. And then quickly, second order of business. Bye-bye, Cleo. Getting a new car, and we're gonna call him PT. Hopefully he's more reliable than Cleo. After all the car drama, we were finally heading to Machico, a small historical town on the east coast of the island. This is where Portuguese explorers first landed back in 1419, and also one of the only places on the island with a proper sandy beach, which, funnily enough, was imported all the way from Morocco. The whole place feels quiet, local, and very unbothered. 2 coffees and 2 croissants for $7.20. Life is good. There's really not much to do here in Machico, apart from getting a quick bite, going for a wee, walk along the beach, and maybe trail runs. Also taking one of these car sickness pills, because the roads here are killing me. After a short break, we were back on the road, heading to the eastern tip of the island. If there's one thing Madeira is not short of, it's beautiful hikes. There are over 30 officially classified PR trails, from iconic mountain treks to cliffside paths to levada walks. And today we're doing the famous PR8. It takes you out to the easternmost point of the island, where you get some of the best panoramic views in Madeira. It's about 6 kilometers in total, so it should take about 2 to 3 hours. It's quite well maintained, but it's very popular, a lot of people. But the good thing is, you won't get lost. That's the goal. Every few steps, you're tempted to stop and take it all in. Atlantic Ocean on both sides. Cliffs dropping straight into the water. The landscape feels so dramatic, no wonder some people say it looks like Mars. It is so windy. But it's quite nice though, cools you down. Otherwise, I can't imagine how hot it's gonna be. There's no shades or trees whatsoever. It's all very oh my god. And that's when you realize you're walking across an ancient volcano. The last known eruption was around 6,500 years ago, but technically it's still considered active, and it's that volcanic past that shaped the cliffs, rocks, and ridges into something this striking. I think we're at the end. I can see the cafe over there, which is incredible that they're able to build a freaking cafe on a mountain like this. And at the end, you can even go for a swim, kayak, or snorkel. Follow the melt sugarcane syrup cake of Madeira. Let's see. It smells so good. I think it might taste similar to sticky toffee pudding or Chinese like stick cake. Texture-wise, it's almost like in between a cake and a cookie. It's very firm. Gets stuck on your teeth a little bit. Very nice. Very sweet. Heading to the top. Technically, the last bit was closed for maintenance, but visitors like us was still heading up anyway for the view. Almost there. It's slippery, steep, and the wires along the side were rusty enough to earn you a tetanus shot if you're not careful. So climb at your own risk, but I'm more than happy that we did. Stunning. Now we head back. I am so sweaty and gross right now. Can't wait for some grilled octopus. Being in Portugal has 100% unlocked my craving for seafood. So we drove for 10 minutes to the nearby town for some more top-tier fish. For starters, we have Barista. It's a Madeiran local soft drink. I think passion fruit, pineapple, orange are all popular flavors. It's like passion fruit flavored Fanta, but nicer, less sweet. For actual starters, we went for limpets. They're a type of sea snail that clings to the rocks along the shore, harvested by hand at low tide, and a proper local delicacy here. It's grilled in butter, garlic, and parsley, and then finished with a drizzle of lemon juice. I think I prefer this over escargot. I don't know what the soft bit is. Maybe it's stomach that kind of just bursts in your mouth. Very nice. Ooh, has a little fishy aftertaste though. I don't mind it. For my main, obviously I had to go for second octopus of the trip. This is octopus la Guerrero style. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's boiled until tender and then cooked in a lot of olive oil. And then served with potatoes and some cabbage. Because it's roasted after boiling, the suction cups on the tentacles turn slightly crispy, which is the perfect contrast to the soft, flavorful meat underneath. What can I say? The Portuguese really know how to cook their octopus.
Deixa que o amor invade a porta da tua casa. Deixa que o carinho seja o beijo de uma flor. Deixa que o amor invade a porta da tua casa. Deixa que o carinho seja o beijo de uma flor.
This is kind of grossing me out.
Desde pequenino
Pineapple.
que o amor é cura, amolece a dor e ingratidão. Desde pequenino que eu sei que o amor perdura, basta ter carinho e compreensão.
Such an elite combo. Don't forget the cake. Oop. Day 4 was another famous hike. Here are 9. From Ponta do Sol is about an hour and 20-minute drive to the car park, passing more beautiful scenery along the way. But about 5 minutes before arriving, we were stopped by the police. Okay, off to a rocky start. Parking is full, so we have to walk an hour to the starting point. And It's quite hilly and I really need to pee. So before the actual hike even started, we had to do what I can only describe as the hike before the hike. And another hill. It's just hill after hill, non-stop. I guess that's why everyone says to come here before 9 to avoid this big ass hill. Oh. It was only about 2 miles, but it took us almost a full hour to reach the actual car park. And another one. Look on the bright side. It's all going downhill once we finish the hike and we're the most exhausted. And I was right. The walk to the start turned out to be the hardest part of the entire hike. Almost there. Finally, car park and toilet. And a beautiful coffee shop serving some not so beautiful coffee. But at this point, it was mostly just a great opportunity to sit down and catch our breath. Ugh, it's getting really bitter and grainy at the end. The hike itself is actually very straightforward and mostly flat. About 8.7 kilometers one way, then the same route back. It's one of the most popular Levada hikes in Madeira, which is a historic, man-made water irrigation channel that transports water from the wetter northern part of the island to the drier southern part. For most of the hike, the Levada runs right beside you, and the sound of the water is incredibly soothing. It's getting a little slippery here. You're walking through lush forest, and every so often the trees suddenly open up and you get this huge mountain view that reminds you just how deep into the island you are. First tunnel. Let's go. One of the most charming parts about the hike is definitely the tunnels. You go through 4 of them in total. Some short, some long, all very dark and narrow. And another one. Let's go. A headlamp is essential. And remember to duck, because some sections are low, even for me. Otherwise, you'll absolutely hit your head. Bit of traffic jam there. A trail this beautiful is obviously very popular. The path is so narrow in a lot of sections, so you often need to stand sideways or step to the edge to let people pass. Be prepared to say thank you and you're welcome about 3,000 times. We're basically walking on the cliff, and I hear a waterfall. At the end of the trail, you reach one of the most spectacular waterfalls, dropping into a turquoise lagoon surrounded by cliffs and greenery. There is a sign saying it's prohibited to go closer to the waterfall because the area is prone to landslides and people have been injured before. But as you can see, many visitors still can't resist the view. So again, go at your own risk. Squished croissant break. This might be a controversial opinion, but I think Portuguese croissants are sometimes better than French croissants because they're breadier And it makes a really nice sandwich. And it's not messy to eat. On the way back, we already knew what to expect, so we moved a lot quicker. At times, walking this trail really does feel like being in the jungle. It's lush, green, dramatic, and surprisingly peaceful considering how popular it is. Overall, I would absolutely recommend it to anyone visiting Madeira. Just arrive early, bring a headlamp, and do not underestimate the parking situation. 5 hours, 17 kilometers. This is really, really well deserved. Mango Lipton. Very nice. We still have an hour walk back to the car, but at least it's all downhill. After 6 hours, around 20 kilometers, and 500 meters of elevation, nothing heals the body and the soul better than a carb-loaded dinner. We've come to a local restaurant in Santana and got this bolo de caco, which is a traditional round flatbread from Madeira. It's crispy on the outside and light and airy on the inside. And slathered with garlic butter in the middle. Basically, Madeira's answer to garlic bread. Main is ribeye smothered in mushroom sauce and a very generous side salad. And then this is fried maize. It's a very popular local side dish. In Portuguese, it's called milho frito. Cornmeal cooked with garlic and herbs, pulled, cut into squares, then fried until golden. It's like crispy on the outside and still soft and gooey on the inside. Very savory and very nice. The food here wasn't exactly life-changing. It was rustic, homely, and comforting, like something a Portuguese grandmother would make for you. It was a really nice introduction to some local dishes, and more importantly, it was exactly what I needed after the hike. On the northwestern coast of Madeira is Seixal Beach, probably one of the most Instagram famous spots on the island. Black sand, mountain backdrop, waterfalls in the distance. It looks like a scene straight out of Jurassic Park. But in real life, at least when we visited, it didn't quite hit the same. It felt more like an overhyped, overcrowded European beach than a hidden paradise. The natural pools on the other side, though, were much more interesting. Volcanic rock forms these natural pools with jagged edges and unusual shapes. Dark rocks contrast beautifully with the turquoise ocean, and if you look closer, there are red crabs crawling everywhere. It was absolutely stunning here, but parking was a nightmare. Plus, there was only one toilet with a broken door and no shower. So we decided to drive 15 minutes to Porto Moniz to take a dip in the water instead. Even though it was late June, the water was still quite cold, especially when clouds came in, so it definitely took a minute to get used to. The rocks create a natural barrier, which keeps the water inside the pools much calmer than the waves outside. But at high tide, water would rise above the rocks and crash into the pool, which is pretty incredible to watch. There weren't too many fish to see, so it wasn't the most exciting snorkel, but still a lovely swim. It's not good. The weather had been a bit fickle all day. Random rain, clouds, and patches of sun. But that actually gave us a better chance of visiting our final destination in fog, Fanal Forest. As we drove higher into the mountains, it slowly became mistier and mistier, until cars coming from the opposite direction seemed to appear out of nowhere. Fanal is known for its ancient laurel trees, and walking through it genuinely feels otherworldly. The trees twist and bend in these strange shapes, the fog drifting between them, and everything feels unnervingly quiet. This feels so magical, like I'm in Narnia. Or the start of a horror movie. It's also home to a lot of cows grazing freely, and as a result, a lot of cow poops. So watch where you're going. Of course, the best way to end a magical trip full of surprises and mishaps is with one final dinner by the ocean. For starters, we have really massive mussels. They were cooked in a creamy, garlicky, herby sauce. Super fresh, super meaty, and very satisfying to eat. And then for the third time of the trip, follow the caco. Last night was better. For the main event, we went for a mixed grill. Beef, pork, chicken, sausage. With a side of steamed vegetables and probably the best milu fritu of the trip. It's fried to perfection. It's like golden and crispy, and the garlic and herb taste is so nice. And also it's sunset time. The sky is turning pink. As the sun slowly sets in the background, it's very easy to fall in love with a place in a moment like this. So, is Madeira really the Hawaii of Europe? Honestly, not quite. It's colder, rockier, and much more rugged than the marketing line suggests. But after 5 days, 1 flat tire, 2 beautiful hikes, and more seafood than I can count, I realized that maybe the comparison doesn't really matter. Madeira is dramatic, unpredictable, completely its own thing. And that's exactly what draws people in.